Today, the question is, how do I deal with past hurts so I can release the pain and move on? So most of us, once we have reached adulthood, we have some experiences in our life, in our past, that were painful, that were hurtful, where we felt that another person behaved in a way which hurt us. And there is a tendency to continue to hang on to that pain. And hanging on to that pain, and by hanging on to that pain, also not forgiving the person who did whatever they did, which you felt was painful, which you felt was hurtful. So as we move on through our lives and we become more evolved and we become more awakened to who we truly are, and less identified with this misconception that we are a being which can be hurt, then this process is going to involve releasing this hurt and forgiving the past, releasing the pain. So this is such a common quality for humanity, for individual humans. It's such a common thing for humans to be carrying some hurt from the past. So I think this is a good one. Alright, so over the years I've worked a lot on this. As a child I was super sensitive, and I felt like I was being hurt left, right and centre. And of course I understand it's had a lot to do with my perception of my reality and being more sensitive than was necessary and perceiving hurt where there wasn't any, and so on. So, so I've worked on this a lot myself because it was really quite stifling in my life for a long time, and I really had a necessity. I had to do something about it. But we're all in a process. We're all in the process of becoming greater, expanded into our infinity, and releasing and letting go this sort of false identity. And I'm not a master by any means. I still have stuff to work through. So this could be good for me and good for you too, I hope. Alrighty. So, how do I deal with past hurts so I can release the pain and move on? Alrighty. Let's see what we got. Greetings and thank you for the question. How can you release the pain of past hurts and move on? Let us start by creating a perspective of what is really occurring, of the expanded perspective, the expanded awareness of the one in which the tribulations which cause the hurt are occurring. And with this perspective, it will create a new paradigm of understanding in which it will be much easier to forgive the past, to relinquish the pain you have been carrying, to understand the hurt you have felt and the individuals you have blamed for that hurt. Are unnecessarily held on to, are unnecessarily unforgiven. It is misunderstanding that gives rise to these difficulties within self. So, There is only one. There is just one thing. And you are an aspect of that one thing. And we are an aspect of that one thing. And everything is an aspect of that one thing. An individuation of the one thing. The one thing experiencing itself through the unique perspective which is you. So there is nothing which is not this one thing. There is no one which is not this one thing. So, you are this one thing, and so are all those from your past who have hurt you, also this one thing. Just different aspects of the same thing. Unique experiences of the same thing. So if everything is the one thing, if all those you have encountered in your life are the one thing, and that one thing is you, you and them are the same thing, then from this expanded context, from this most expanded awareness of what existence is, can you see there is no disagreement? Because disagreement implies there is more than one. However, if there is only one thing, then how can this one thing disagree with itself? It is not possible. Everything that occurs within the one thing is the one thing. Having these experiences through agreement it has made with itself. There is no disagreement. Only agreement. And when we bring this model down and we look more closely at the individuations of the one, and we accept that there is this illusory state where you feel a separateness, where you experience yourself as being a unique being. However, keeping in mind that although you are a unique individuation, the separation is illusory. You are, and always have been, and always will be, the one thing, of which everyone else is also. But temporarily, let's consider that you are this individuation, that you are this separate being. However, you are not the mind, the body, the personality. You are the infinite, immortal, invulnerable, energetic, the higher self. You are a literal individuation of the infinite love of the One. And so, from this perspective, where you accept that you are an illusory individuation of the One, however, you are not this vehicle, this temporary conduit. And so there is meaning, there is reason, there is purpose for you to have this temporary experience. And that purpose is for you to become further realized of your higher self, of your quality as the individuation of the love of the One in the physical experience, to awaken in the physical experience, so that you become the higher self physicalized, so you become the one physicalized, because the one's yearning is to know itself experientially. This is the purpose of existence. The one existed as a concept, and yet it yearned to know itself experientially, through experience. However, when there is only one, there is no contrast, there is no differentiation, there is no one thing which is not another thing. And so, when there is not more than one, experience is impossible. However, through this yearning to experience itself, to know itself experientially, the one created the illusion of infinite individuations of itself. So now there was the illusion that there was one thing which was not another thing, which was not another thing, which was not another thing. Infinitum. Now experience was possible. Now the one had the opportunity to know itself through experience, to be its infinite love in the physical experience. And so the field of existence in which all of these infinite individuations exist, it is the playground, it is the stage in which each individuation of the one can further awaken in the physical experience to the understanding that it is the one, that it is an individuation of the infinite love. So for the human, this physical experience is the vehicle for this to happen. At the true essence of who you are, at the higher self, the energetic, the true awakening of self, which you were before you were born into this life, which you continue to be during this life, although you have this dual identity. You are the higher self, yet you are also, through perception, the vehicle. And then, when this vehicle has expired, you will still continue to be this higher self, this true essence. And at this true essence, in this state of awareness, you understand that your purpose is to have the physical experience, so that in the physical experience you can become awakened and realize that you are in fact the higher self, the energetic, the eternal, immortal, invulnerable individuation of the love of the one. This is the purpose, and you understand, for this purpose to be fulfilled, you must have experience. And those experiences must be, and inevitably will be, through the perfection of the design, the perfect experience for you to further awaken into this realization that you are the higher self having a physical experience, that you are the infinite, immortal, invulnerable individuation of the love of the one having a physical experience, that you are the one in the physical experience. And when this realization is further expanded, then the purpose of the one is further realized, because you are the one. And as you awaken to this in the physical experience, where you become more of the true essence of who you are in the physical experience, then the one is physicalized, and the one is realized, and the purpose of the one is continually expanded and fulfilled. And the one experiences itself. Its primary yearning is further contributed to So, the experiences that you have during this temporary lifetime, in this temporary conduit, which is not the true you, but is just a vehicle, a collection of assets, which you have manifested from the higher self dream. In the life you have also manifested from the higher self dream. So that you can have the experiences required to further expand you and unfold you in the realization that you are in fact the higher self, the energetic, the individuation of love of the One, the One. So for this process to occur, of this realization of the self in the physical experience, then there must be the opportunity to have experiences which awaken this, which further this realization, which facilitate this process. And these experiences will include whatever is perfectly calibrated for this unfoldment to occur. Which means even the experiences that have caused you pain, even those people who in their experiences with you, the co-manifestation, the co-creation they have done with you, their contribution was essential for this process to continue within self. And your contribution was essential for the process to continue with them, in them. The co-creation, the co-manifestation that you have formed together was perfect for both of you to further realize that you are an individuation of the infinite love of the One. So, as the higher self, you chose to be born into your life because you understood that the life that you will live, the experiences that you will have, that all of it will contribute to this expansion of realization and the continued fulfillment of your purpose to know thyself, which is the One's purpose to know thyself experientially. And you have agreed that you will be a participant in this physical experience, in this physical life, for the purpose of the One knowing itself experientially, for your purpose of knowing thyself experientially. And all other players that you encounter in your physical experience have also agreed that they will be participants in the playground of life, on the stage of physicality, so they also may fulfill this same purpose of knowing thyself. So they also may fulfill the divine purpose for the One to know itself. So both of you have agreed that you will be participants in the field of life. Both of you are beings of love, individuations of the infinite love of the One. And both of you are in fact the one thing, experiencing itself from different perspectives. So there is agreement, and then within that there is more agreement. So the people in your life, in your past, that you felt have behaved in a way which has been hurtful to you, understand that they are you. You are them. Both of you are the one thing. Both of you are unique aspects of the one thing experiencing itself. And so when you had in the past this interaction with this other reflection of self, it is by agreement that both of you, at the level of higher self, have come into physicality to have these experiences so that you can fulfill the same purpose, to know thyself. And you have this same purpose because you are the one being, you are the one thing, wishing to understand itself, to know itself experientially, to be realized in physical experience, to be the infinite love in physicality. And for this to occur, experiences of all kinds are necessary. Not just experiences which are pleasant, but also experiences which are unpleasant. Because the unpleasant experiences are necessary to give feedback on who you have been being in the past. If you choose hurt, then this is creating future moments which are conducive to you again feeling hurt. And this is necessary part of the mechanism of manifestation for realization and further understanding of your infinite individuation of the love of the one. Because this feedback data, this reflection back to you, that you have been choosing pain in the past, is something that you must be aware of so that you can break the cycle, so that you can choose differently. Choose an emotional state which is truly reflective of who you are. Love and its derivatives. You are not the pain. You are not the anger. You are not the hurt. You are love and its derivatives, because you are the one. The one is love. The nuance is the derivatives of love. Gratitude, peace, happiness, joy, bliss. This is what you are. However, for you to realize that you are misconstruing identity, that you are hanging on to a concept of self which is false, that you believe you can be hurt, that you can believe you can be vulnerable, and so you choose pain, you choose hurt, then you need the reflection back to you to let you know that you are making these choices, that you are choosing to identify with something which isn't true, which you are choosing to hold an energetic state which is not love and its derivatives. You are being unawakened, you are being unrealized. So, if it is necessary to be receiving this feedback from life, for life to be manifesting in a way which brings you experiences which are conducive to feeling the pain, to feeling the hurt, not so that you feel the pain and feel the hurt again, but instead so that you can make the realization that it is an opportunity to feel the pain, to feel the hurt, but instead you can break the pattern and choose love and its derivatives instead. Then for this to be possible, you need other players. there has to be other reflections of the one thing that provide this service, that do this function in your reality, so you can have this realization. So the people who hurt you in the past, they were serving you. They are the one. They are you. And they are serving your awakening. They are facilitating your greater realization into realizing that you are the love of the one. They are essential to your awakening. And from the highest self perspective, where they are the energetic, or they are aware that they are an individuation of the infinite love of the one, they play this role from this state of awareness, from this state of understanding, this energetic. They understand that the body is illusory. They understand that this is just temporary. They understand that the physical life is a playground, is a stage, is a place where there is opportunity to have experiences which are conducive to further realizing that you are the love of the one. And so, from this level of understanding, it is with love that they participate in the field of life, on the stage of physicality. So even though in their unawakened physical form, when they identify with this temporary vehicle, not realizing that they are the highest self, not realizing that they are an individuation of the infinite love of the one, they are asleep in the dream, and they behave in a way which is hurtful to you. However, they are on their own journey. They are also going through the process of realization, and they are not the mind, the body, the personality, the person that you see in front of you, the person that you see in your mind's eye when you imagine them, and the moments that they hurt you, and the things that they did. Understand that they are not that you saw, that you remember. That is just the temporary vehicle. It is the tool that they have been given so that they may awaken in the physical experience to the realization they are the highest self-energetic. They are the infinite, immortal, invulnerable individuation of the love of the one. So it is not with malice, from this higher understanding, from the true essence of who they are. They are the highest self. But they are lost in the dream of physicality. They are lost in the illusion that they are this individuation. And they are finding their way just as you are finding your way. However, if you can accept that they are the highest self in the true realization of who they are, this energetic which exists before the life is returned to in realization after the life, continues to be present during the life, although without awareness of it. From this perspective, their desire is to awaken and also to contribute to your awakening, because from this level of awareness they recognize that you are them and they are you, and together you are just one being, individuations of the one thing, with the purpose of becoming the love in the physical experience. It is important to release the pain. It serves to release the pain. the pain that you hold is mind stuff. It is not who you truly are. You are an infinite, immortal, invulnerable individuation of the love of the One. You cannot be touched by another person's words. You cannot be touched by another person's actions. The true essence of who you are is invulnerable by nature, is infinite by nature. It cannot be diminished. It cannot be hurt. So there is nothing that another person can do which can damage or diminish the true essence of who you are. You are untouchable. There is a separation between who you truly are and this temporary lifetime that you are living. You are dreaming this lifetime. And just as in your regular dreams, when you have a dream where you are being chased and then something happens to you and you wake up and you realize you are unhurt, you have the relief to understand that it was just a dream, that whatever occurred in that dream, it wasn't real. It wasn't having a lasting effect. It did not damage me. It could not touch me. I am invulnerable from the happenings in that dream. And such is the reality of the life that you live now. The life you live, it is the dream. It is the dream of the higher self. It is occurring within the higher self. You are not in the body, but the body is in you. You are real-time streaming, downloading yourself into the body. You are channeling the true essence of who you are into the body. And the purpose is for you to emanate spontaneously. And when you are able to do this, then you are the love of the higher self, spontaneously in the moment. The love of the One, spontaneously in the moment. There is no rerouting to the mind for curation. There is no need to have the process whereas you download stream into the body for spontaneous emanation, that it needs to go to the mind to add protections, to add shielding and masking and inauthenticity to protect you from the hurts that you have experienced in the past. You can be spontaneously yourself. You can be authentically yourself because no harm can be done to you. There is nothing in the physical realm which can touch who you really are, which can harm who you really are, which can diminish who you really are. It is a dream. And so with the same sense of invulnerability that you have when you wake up from a dream, you can have the same sense of invulnerability in this life, knowing that no matter what happens, you will remain to be immortal, infinite, invulnerable. And so it is possible to live courageously, to have greater authenticity, meaning that you do not route the feed to the mind for curation, to lay over it protections because of experiences you've had in the past where you were hurt. So the painful moments you had that created the flinch. So when you were young and you were open and vulnerable, exposed, and you did not yet have the experience of being hurt, of somebody behaving in a way which you felt damaged you, which you felt diminished you, you were an open, loving, vulnerable being. You were authentic. You were a download streaming of the higher self. You were the beautiful child, open, free, honest. However, this vulnerability, this exposure, eventually gave way to a forming personality, because this vulnerability, this openness, this exposure inevitably led to the pain of your physical experience, of someone behaving in a way, someone doing a certain thing, which caused you to flinch because your open, exposed, vulnerable state was unprepared for the actions of the world that you were living in. And this flinch of protection is never fully released, is never fully let go. And then you carry this pain with you for the rest of your life. And for the rest of your life, you are flinched energetically in this way, calibrated to the type of experience you had, the way that you perceived it, what you believed it to be. And then this flinching, this rigidity that you've put in your energetic field, the reduction in fluidity, the reduction in translucency, you have now become opaque, you have now become rigid, you have now become clenched in a way which reduces your authenticity. And now when you are in the moment and you are real-time streaming, real-time downloading, streaming into the moment, instead of this occurring authentically, where you are emanating into the moment, unadulterated, instead, your energetic feed passes through these layers of belief which are contained within the mind. So it's rerouted to the mind. It passes through these layers of belief. And these layers of belief are the mentality which has been extracted from this flinching. It is your mind's rationalization of this energetic quality where you are flinched. And so you behave in a way which is not authentic, which is not truly you, which is a contrivance of the mind. It is steeped in personality. It is choked off by ego, and it is not authentic. And so you continue to carry this pain because of this layering of these beliefs which are resulting from this flinching because of the experiences of the past when you did not understand, you were not cognizant that you are the higher self, that you are the infinite, invulnerable, immortal being. And so, when you continue through life and you have these experiences, then you are passing these experiences. You continue to reroute your download feed, the higher self, through these layers of belief, which are resulting from this flinching because of experiences in the past, and it becomes a lens, a tinted lens, like you are wearing glasses which are tinted with a certain quality, and then you experience things and process them and rationalize them through these lenses, and you become vulnerable to be continuously hurt, to have ongoing pain from the experiences of your life, not because these experiences are necessarily of the quality which is painful or hurtful, but because this is the lens through which you perceive your reality. And so you continue to have these experiences which you consider to be hurtful, and you feel the pain. So, to release the flinching, to let it go, to return to a state of fluidity, of translucency, of spontaneity, where you are emanating the true essence of who you are instantaneously. where you are real-time downloading, streaming, emanating into presence, the true essence of who you are, unadulterated, then you must be prepared to release the flinch, to relax back into a state of openness and belief that you are invulnerable, that you cannot be touched, that there is nothing in your experience that can occur which can damage the true essence of who you are. And part of this process will include forgiving those who you feel have been the ones that have caused you pain in the past, the ones that have made you flinch, that have been the catalyst for your rigidity, who have been the major player, and you becoming opaque, losing your translucency, becoming inauthentic, to protect yourself from future hurts. So now that you have layers of mind stuff, erroneous beliefs, that you are a vulnerable being, that you are a finite being, that you can be harmed. Because this person that hurt you, they are on their own journey. They did not agree to be born into this life for the purpose of hurting you. They agreed to be born into this life to fulfill the purpose of knowing thyself, to becoming love in the physical experience, to be the one physicalized, realized, to contribute to the unfoldment of divine purpose. And so, the role they play from the high self perspective is one only of love, is one only of contribution, is one only of expansion, is one only of recognition that you also are an individuation of the infinite love of the One, that you also are expanding into this realization, that you also are becoming the infinite love of the One, physicalized, realized in the physical experience. So although there was the pain of disagreement, there was the pain of their actions, it is their contribution to your awakening. It is their co-creation of the experiences necessary for both of you to become further realized into the understanding of who you truly are, such that the divine purpose can be continually fulfilled, expanded. And ultimately, they are you. You are them. Both of you are perspectives of the same thing. Both of you are unique individuations of the One, are the One experiencing itself through the perspective which is you, which is them. You are the one thing. And as you are the one thing, there can be nothing but agreement. There can be nothing but harmony. There can be nothing but the balance and perfection of the One. So, think of those from your past that have caused you pain. And go to the most expanded awareness of self, that you are the one, and they are the one, and the one is love and its derivatives, and the one wishes to experience itself. It wishes to be the love that it is, realized in the physical experience. This is your purpose. It is the purpose of those that hurt you, because you are this being which is nothing but infinite love. And then dropping down to the realization that you are an individuation of this. You are an individuation of the love of the one. That you are a unique individuation, perspective of the one, facilitating, created for this process to occur, for there to be experience, such that the one can have the experience of itself, of its infinite love in the physical experience. It created these individuations, and you are one of these individuations. Those that hurt you are also one of these individuations. And as beings of love, you have agreed to have these physical experience so that you can both awaken the self, and through participation, through co-creation, co-manifestation, awaken each other. Because both of you wish to see the other realized as infinite love in the physical experience, to have this blissful state, to reach nirvana, to be in heaven on earth. So there is nothing but love, cooperation, and a willingness to see the other flourish and blossom into the realization that you are love, that you are the physicalization of the infinite one. And then coming down to the identity of the physical, the mind, the body, the personality, of you who you are, and they who they are. Now look at them through new eyes. Look at them not as this person that hurt you, but look at them as this loving being that has agreed to co-manifest with you, such that both of you may realize that you are the infinite love of the one, because both of you are the one, and as such, both of you are infinite love. So love them. Release everything that you have held in the past, realizing that it is just misconceptualization of self. It is the belief that you were this temporary vehicle, that you were vulnerable, finite, and able to be diminished and hurt. It was this misconceptualization of self which made you vulnerable to those experiences. And your awareness of this, your expansion into this realization, was facilitated by them. Their role has been pivotal in your expansion and further realization of who you truly are. For you to be able to be the love and its derivatives in the physical experience, for you to have the gratitude, the peace, the joy, the bliss, the love. They have been a contributor to that. And for this, you can be grateful. Thank you. Thank you for the role that you played in my realization of who I truly am. I understand that without this mechanism of feedback from reality, to let me know who I've been in the past, such that I can choose to be differently now in this moment, so I can choose to be more realized, more love, more free. Your contribution to this awakening has been an important one, and for that I am grateful, and I wish to express to you my love. Thank you.